Hello, Catherine. How are you?
Hey, good, Ben. How are you? Nice to see
I'm very
you.
good. And thank you very much for, I know you're a busy girl and you're running around with that family of yours. So I really
Yeah.
appreciate you taking the time to spend with me and talking a little about my involvement with your renovation, stuff like that. So just wanted to say thank you. And I wanted to find out how are things with you and how's Joe and the rest of the family over there?
Oh, we're doing good. I'm so sorry Joe's not able to be here. He works nighttime, so one of these days he's gonna have to give that up, I swear.
Yeah.
But we're doing good. We have a little baby now. As you know, I was pregnant during the whole process, which is
Yeah.
one of the reasons why we had to go this route anyways. But our family's doing awesome. Thanks for asking. How are
No,
you?
I'm doing well, and just keep plugging away, and it's good to see you. It's been a while, and I
Mhm.
just want to thank you again for the time that you're taking to speak with me
No
and
problem.
talk about your experiences with the renovation, my involvement with with your house renovation. So, what I wanted to ask you is before we actually get into the actual renovations themselves, a lot of people are going to watch this video and they're going to wonder, like, what was the actual, what was the reason why what the process was and how our involvement what was throughout the actual renovation. And so the first question that I have for you is,
Mhm.
you bought this property. Can you give me a sense of, or give us the specifics about the house that you actually bought?
Yeah, so we were living in a condo. We decided that it was finally time to move into a house, a bigger space for our family. We did a lot of shopping around, went to a lot of viewings. We finally found a nice house. It's not a big, huge house, and it's not too small. It's just perfect for us. It was owned by a lovely couple that was there for, I would say, maybe over 40 years. And as you can imagine, the place, it was a great price, but the place itself was outdated. Those lovely couple did not seem to have done anything the whole time that they were there. The
Right.
kitchen, it looked like it was from the 1950s. The flooring, it had those ugly tiles that you see in those movies and those old movies. It just everything, it was had to go, it had to be redone. But thankfully we got it for a perfect price, something that was in our budget, and so we bought it and we started the whole renovation process.
Okay, great. And I remember when we were going back and forth about the planning this renovation and looking at the condition of the home. And yeah, it was definitely a home that the previous homeowner really didn't do much, or they might have done things maybe in the beginning, but as you get older, you get used to what
Yeah,
kind of get used to things. You just leave,
exactly.
just let things be. So as you know, like, there are a lot of people out there who are thinking about, they're new real estate investors, and like
Mhm.
you are in that category, and they buy their first property and they're looking to do something with it in terms of, usually you buy a property like yourself that is a little bit rough around the edges. You need to renovate it, right? And so
Yes.
the first option is you can go hire a general contractor, which is going to cost you money, and then you also lose control over the renovation process, or you can plan and manage all renovation yourself. So I just wanted to ask you, I'm sure you came to that juncture in the road. You're busy, you
Mhm.
got a family, and also your husband as well. What is it that made you decide that you wanted to act as your own general contractor and manage a renovation yourself?
Yeah, so like you said, we at first we bought the house and then we were all excited, and then it was just kind of like, okay, well, where do we start from here? We talked to a few general contractors, as you mentioned, and the prices that they were telling us, I mean, it was just not what we were expecting, not what we were looking to spend. They were quoting us. We got a few different quotes from a few different contractors just so we could see what the difference is, what the price range would be. Yeah, I would say on the low end, it was about $130,000. Up until the high end, our quotes were, they were giving us quotes for like $160,000 to renovate the house. That was not something that we had in our budget, not something that we were looking forward to spending. So we kind of just said, "Hey, maybe we could try and do it ourselves." But I mean, we didn't know at that point what we would be doing, which is where we found you, Ben.
Okay, well, you know what? That is a lot of money, and also it is a huge difference in price from
Yes,
130 to 160.
it
And
was a lot.
that's really
It was a big
that's
jump.
weird. And
Yeah.
so you kind of scratch your head on that one. You wonder, like, why is there such a difference between one price and another price? But anyway, so so you wanted to the point where you wanted to do the renovation yourself to, I guess, to save money, but also maybe
Mhm.
even learn some, do it in the
Yep.
process also. So let me ask you, if you don't mind me telling me and telling people, like, what is it ultimately? What did the actual whole renovation end up costing you?
So I think by the time everything was done and said, with all the contractors, everything completely finished, done, paid for, I think it was under 100,000 for sure. I want to say around 97, 98,000 altogether, everything all in,
Wow, that's a
which
huge.
was a
That's
big difference from what we were being quoted for sure. Definitely, it saved us
wow,
a lot of money.
no kidding. So
Yeah.
can you sort of give a description of the work that was done and the length of time that it took?
Yeah.
I know that it was a major renovation, but sort of the people that are going to watch this video, sort of give them the lay of the land of like what it is that you did in the home.
Yeah, so we just basically we kind of figured out what we needed right at that moment. That would have made the biggest difference, and something that was more of a need, I guess. So we started off, definitely the roof needed to go. We found a lot of water damage throughout the home, causing by the eaves shaft, the roof. So that definitely had to be redone. There was no question about that. And then I'm a woman. I like kitchens. I like to cook. So we definitely had to do the kitchen over. It was really outdated. The cupboards were just hideous. Everything about that kitchen was hideous. So we got new cupboards. We got new appliances. The flooring was all done. We did a little things throughout the home as well. Flooring throughout the floor, flooring throughout the house. We did paint all over. We also renovated our basement because, as a newly wed couple with a baby like on the way at that time, we didn't have as much income as we wanted to. So we figured, hey, how about we redo the basement and get someone to move in and rent it out, and it kind of let it help us with the mortgage payments, and then just extra income around the house as well.
Yeah. And Kathryn, that's a great move. And
Yeah.
I encourage a lot of people to help out in the mortgage payments and expenses to do that, to think about purchasing a property that has that opportunity that you can always, everybody should always have a plan A and a plan B. So whenever you buy a property like that, you never know what can happen. One person can lose their job or something can happen.
Yeah.
And so if you have that option of having a basement that you can rent out and gives you
Mhm.
that additional source of income, then it's a win-win situation for everybody. And so that was a great move on your part. Obviously, it cost money in order to do that, to renovate it. And I know that you could have probably ended up saving some dollars if you didn't do that, but you did it, and it's great. And also,
Mhm.
you got that additional source of income, so that's fabulous. So
Yeah.
you guys did really well, and I'm happy with the way things turned out, and it was good. So can
Yeah.
you sort of give me can you walk me through the renovation process that I walked you through, so that people that are watching this video have a sense of what the structure is and how I sort of how I took you through the process.
Yeah, so we basically just established when we initially met with you, we basically just kind of let you know, me and Joe, what our goals for our future house were, what we wanted to do with the house. We let you know at that time that yes, the basement is one of the things that we were looking to rent out, so we wanted that completely renovated. We basically just went over with you. We created a list. It was more of a needs versus a wants list. Basically, what that means, if people want to know, is what did we need, what was necessary to get renovated in order to have the rental basement, and in order to like fix all like the structural deficiencies in the house to keep everything in good shape. And then, you know, a wand, so like the kitchen, it was a nice to have. I say it was a need, Joe say it was a want, but you know, the things like that, the flooring, yes, the flooring was okay, but I mean, you want to update it, you want your house to be looking fresh. So we had the flooring done. So that was a want. And then we just, you know, we kind of figured out what how we go from there. How do you pick your contractors? We created a scope of work for each individual contractor, and kind of just outlining basically what was going to be done, like a timeline sort of thing as well, I guess, if you want to say. And then we just sort of chose our contractors with your help, of course. We were able to choose great contractors, or else we would have never known what to look for and or what sort of questions to ask. So we found the perfect contractors. We sent out the scope of work for tender, and it was just a home run from there.
Very good. And you know what? Overall, I think the process went really well, went smoothly. Like every renovation is unique, and there's always going to be certain things that'll pop up that nobody expects. I've been doing this for over 30 years, and every renovation has got its own little wrinkles and unique twists. But I think overall, I think everything went well on this particular project. So it was good. So can you sort of give a touch on the interaction that I had with you folks, and that people would be interested in knowing, like how was I in terms of accessibility, dialogue with you, and if you sort of touch on that, and because you know a lot of people would like to know that.
Yeah, you know what? I have a few friends that also renovated, not their whole house, but they did renovate parts of their houses, and I've heard horror stories. The contractors were always hard to get a hold of. They said that they were gonna show up one day and then they didn't, or if they were to show up, it would be like hours later, and then they wouldn't really be able to get much work done. So that in the back of our minds as well, it was kind of concerning for us. It was, and kind of that's what we didn't want to have to deal with.
Right.
So with you kind of basically told us basically how to manage each contractor on our own. And you know what? I wouldn't say anything really went wrong. Our contractors, they also looked at us as if we kind of knew what we were talking about at the same time. So we weren't really being taken advantage of. That's how it felt like. So we had a good working relationship with a lot of them, and it was perfect. It was great.
Great.
I mean, if anybody's scared of doing renovations, having to deal with contractors and grumpy people all the time, and definitely they should talk to you first, and then they won't have that feeling anymore.
You know what, you nailed it on the head. It is amazing if you are armed with information and the confidence, and you feel empowered, and you're dealing with contractors, that there's a vibe, it's subconscious that you send to that other individual that puts them on guard and says, hey, I can't mess with this individual.
Yes.
And a lot of people don't have that because it's natural. This is all new. And you know, there's a fear involved because of the thousands and thousands of dollars that you got to fork over to these contractors. So, you know, and so by having that skill set, not skill set, but having that confidence is huge in dealing with people, and it smoothens out the process. Even in the process of like doing the tendering, if you present yourself that way, as a knowledgeable person that's gone through the ropes before, you know, it eliminates a lot of the riffraff that's going to try to steal from you, try to snicker you, try to take advantage of you, because hey, they feel, or they think they feel, so this is a person that I'm dealing with that knows what they're talking about, that's gone through it, right? So the last question I'm going to have that I want to ask you, and then I'll let you go, is after this experience, I hope you and Joe go on to buy more rental properties, because I always encourage you. I always encourage people that you know, real estate investing is the best way to create passive income, to create, you know, a legacy, not only for you, you know, but also for your children as well. ultimately this experience that you've had with me, what is it going to provide you with enough confidence for you to be able to acquire your next property and handle your own renovation on your own? Or like, can you give me a sense of that? Do you feel the confidence to be able to do the
Yeah.
next renovation by yourself?
Yeah, I feel like with you, every time we needed an answer or we had a question, you were always there for us. You were, if you didn't answer the phone, you would call us back within minutes. So you were always there for us. So I think working with you for the past 4 or 5 months, we learned a lot. That's exactly what me and Joe were talking about. Now that we have this extra income coming in with the basement, why not do it again down the road in like a year or two? You know, that would be great. And like you said, it's something for you to leave your kids, and you know, generational wealth, just have it keep going passed down and passed down. It's great. I mean, the price is only gonna go up, and if you can get the houses for a good price and good contractors like yourself working with you, then it's smooth sailing. And so yeah, we're definitely going to do it. And I would want everyone else to have the same thinking.
Excellent. Well, I really do appreciate, again, the amount of time that you spent and sharing your experiences
you.
with my involvement. And I wish you guys the best of luck, and with give my regards to Joe. And I'm always there for you. So in the event if you need anything, we'll stay in touch. So thank you very much for spending that time. Okay.
Oh, thank you, Van. No problem. Anytime. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
All right then. Bye-bye.
Bye.